Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the orientation of Husayni Madressa for the year 1443. We'll start the program with the recitation of Holy Quran. I will request Sister Fatima Zahra for this. Sister Fatima Zahra.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu ahad. Lam yalid walam yulad walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Salat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Jazakallah, Sister Fatima Zahra. Now I request Sister Tabarak Al-Maya for the dua of Imam Zawana. Sister Tabarak.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن يوليك حجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلوات.
اللهم صل على
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Thank you, Sister Tabarak. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope you all are doing well and had a wonderful summer. I'm so happy to hear that the restrictions have been lessened and schools have gone back to the normal. Last year was a learning experience for all of us, parents, teachers, and especially our students. And for that, I thank all of you for patience and determination. Due to COVID restriction, Waterloo School Board is not allowing anyone to rent from them. Therefore, we are unable to continue in classes in Eastwood Collegiate. From our experience last year and the feedback from the parents, from feedback received, we thought long and hard on deciding what to do. One point that both parents and teachers brought forward was not having the madrasa for only one day is not enough. So we have decided we are making some changes. We have made some changes in the system to make it more effective and beneficial for all the students. This year, instead of only Sunday, we will also have classes during the weekdays, 3 days in the weekdays. Students will learn Holy Quran and Dunya, and whereas on Sunday will be considered as a fun day. Will consider a fun day, meaning activity-based learning day. To clarify further, I will request Brother Taha to explain in detail. Brother Taha.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Shanti, and thank you very much for the warm welcome. So welcoming all parents, alhamdulillah, to this. Just inshallah, before I go ahead, just to point out that alhamdulillah, the Husayni website is active, up, and we try our best to keep it updated. So just inshallah, what I'll do is I'll start with sharing what the website looks like, and then inshallah we'll ask parents to follow along, just so that they know what the Husayni website is like and where they can find information that is useful for them. So I'll just share my screen here. So this is the Husayni Madressa, and where you see at the top in that the red bar there, the pink bar there, this is where we'll have our updates. So right now you see that the registration is open, so that is a quick update. In the past, what we also did was when there was a long weekend, when there was something that unfortunate, like for a weather warning, we would post it over there telling parents whether the madrasa was open or not. And inshallah, this year as well, for the in-person, we will be noting all those changes over here. So for instance, you on a Sunday morning, we have the WhatsApp group that you are part of, inshallah. If you aren't, you can definitely be a part of it. You will be sent the registration link in the forwarded it with the more details on your email addresses. But for quick updates, you can always refer to the Al Husayni website, that any updates on Sunday mornings, for instance, they will be posted over there. The other thing that was also done was that a video was made where the changes were sent out. So there's a whole video which you can watch on the Al Husayni website regarding these changes. Why are we doing it? And inshallah, I'll speak about it. The other thing is to register your child if you haven't already. I understand there are several parents who would want to learn more before they actually register their child. But if you do, inshallah, after this, decide to register your child, you can definitely go to the website, alhusayni.net, and you can register over there. And you will be taken to a form that you can fill in, and then inshallah, will be contacted um, in that case. Sorry. So going back, the other thing is we mentioned a bit about ourselves, what we stand for. The focus has been that, we know the thaqalain that has been brought to us by the Prophet, and we try to identify ourselves through it. Also, what has also been done is an FAQ section has been prepared. So those questions that are generally asked or frequently asked, they have been answered over here. And inshallah, we can go over it as well. Also, what I would also like to emphasize is if you do have some hours, we know parents that in the past, we only had opportunities for people who could teach. There was admin support that was also available, but it was a bit limited. This year, because we are taking a different model, we would want more support from parents. So if you think that you have a few hours, again, we understand this type of commitment can change throughout the year, and that is completely fine. But if you would like to sign up, we will have a reserve of all the volunteers, and then we will contact you accordingly, inshallah, if you're available on a Sunday or for some other duties. Not for teaching, for more so, if you were to go on this, you would see that there are different roles that you can actually help with. In addition to being a Holy Quran and Islamic studies teacher, there are supervising duties, event organizing, fundraising duties that you could do. All right, and inshallah, we can get you connected with all the people involved with respective positions. And as I said that, you can choose how many hours you're able to help per week, but then it can change and that is completely fine because we understand that this is a case. And then at the end, there are just some contact details. Because of COVID, our in-person number, it is active, but if you would want a reply, you can always reach out on help@husayni.net. So you can always call the Islamic Humanitarian Service on that number and ask for the principal, ask for about the madrasa, and you can inshallah be guided. As the principal mentioned, currently we don't have this facility available at the moment just because the rented school, just because of the COVID restrictions, but we are in the process of obtaining a permit and we will keep you posted if there are changes there. Now, inshallah, I'll go back to our, talk about those changes in more detail. So what are those changes, right? So first off, the changes, we'll talk about the specific changes, then I'll have my dear brother Azhar Khalid, who will be speaking about the roles and responsibility and the support parents can extend towards helping us. So the main changes, previously we only had that Sunday in-person madrasa where we tried to convey all that information, convey the curriculum, convey the teachings in a one Sunday setting where we would typically have 1 hour of Quran and 1 hour of Diniyat. And you can understand that, as expressed by a sister, the principal as well, that how it isn't enough, especially living in the West where we're surrounded with different factors. So the idea of this model is that we have weekdays, 3 days a week we started with, where we teach Quran and Diniyat online, right? And we kind of reinforce that learning on Sundays by in-person activity-based learning. So the Sunday sessions are mainly to supplement or to actually reinforce the teachings that have been conveyed on weekdays. So a typical weekday for your child would be that, once they've come back from school, they've had their lunch and rested and played and had that time, then typically we aim to have the class between 5 to 7 p.m. Over here, I've showed you 6. Obviously, this is tentative, right? Because alhamdulillah, we're blessed that there are people on board with scheduling, with admin, who tried their very best to make sure that there's a schedule that works with everyone, that the child does not have to jump between sessions for the Quran and Diniyat sessions. That is why we have put this in place. That would mean that we would need your support, and inshallah, my dear brother will speak about it in a bit. So typical weekday would be that, between 5 to 7 p.m. for 1 hour, your child will be attending. It would typically be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 3 of those days, And then on a Sunday, you would come, typically in the morning as you did in the previous years where we would have the activity. Now, today we're having this orientation. In the coming Sunday, we will have our class, the first in-person session on 19th. And because we're close to Arba'een, what we have done is we have set up a Hussein expression day. What would happen on that day is that we will invite our children, they will come, they will learn about what the Arba'een is all about, and then they will take part in activities, for example, writing, making banners, slogans, alam, all sorts of different expressions that they would like to write a message for Imam Hussein Islam for the world as well. All right. And those slogans or those models or those things that are produced on that day, they'll be used on the following Sunday, as there will be a local walk arranged in the KW region, inshallah, and that work will be displayed over there. There have been other media houses that have contacted us that they would want to cover that event, and inshallah, we will keep you posted with any media that is being shared. So that is just one example of a Sunday event that will take place. Other than that, we will have other third Sunday where we try to reinforce the teaching. So, there might be community outreach, and I will get to it. Community outreach activities. So let's start with the weekdays, right? So for the younger children, the way we've tried to do is we've tried to keep 2 hours of Quran in a week and 1 hour of religious studies, just because younger children, again, just to clarify, Quran is not just the Quran itself, just regular recitation. Rather, it's teaching the Quran. Meaning there would be different things that are taught within that session. It's not just Quran that is being covered there, but along with Quran, there's a whole aspect of it that is covered, right? So inshallah, again, encouraging my parents to get involved, to try it out. And from a personal experience, I would say that, I, as a parent, also experienced it and I really enjoyed it. It can seem a bit overwhelming, but inshallah, our dear brother will speak about it. It is a very organized system, and inshallah, it will be a part of your child's routine. And then for the elder children, they would have one Quran session just because they're closer to their adult age. And they have two, they would need to learn about more so the rulings as well. So there will be two religious classes. Um, and on Sunday, as I mentioned, so the curriculum is still the same, where we'll be covering the Kisa kids. So your child will be actually separated between according to their age for religion, and there will be activities designed for them for that particular age group. Whereas for the Holy Quran, again, we try our best to level them, and there are 6 levels currently. And then inshallah, he will or she will be placed accordingly. As I mentioned, the for curriculum is still Kisa Kids, and for Holy Quran, we'll be using Nur al-Bayan book. And the aspect of it is that we are trying to focus on Muslim identity. You might have come across where, unfortunately in this era, living in this, part of the world, an identity crisis is a crucial issue. And this is what we're trying to do through this. We're trying to focus on Muslim identity. The child is able to know who he or she is, what is their identity. And so once they learn to love and they know the true identity, they are able to practice then, because obviously all those things depend or are based on their identity. If they're not comfortable, if they do not know who they are, they can know all the teachings, but it would not benefit them, right? So inshallah, my dear brother will speak a bit more about that. For Sundays, we will have religious events, inshallah, as mentioned, the exhibition, the walk, or we will have community outreach activities. Your child will be involved. Again, these are all keeping in mind the COVID restrictions, right? And there will be definitely recreational activities as well. So I'll ask my dear brother Ezra Khalid, so that he can inshallah talk about the roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. So here, let me just present quickly. Let me know when you see the screen. Do you guys see the screen, inshallah?
Yes, we are able to.
Yes,
So
yes,
the
Go
yeah.
role
ahead.
and responsibilities, I mean, with our madrasa, we focus on the manhaj of Ahlul Bayt in terms of education and learning. And it is a unique style and approach that actually has never been implemented in the modern day. The modern day approach of education is just there's a school, kids are sent to a school and they're taught by teachers, and they go through different levels of school. With Ahlul Bayt, it's really focused on the family, Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Holy Prophet, as a role model for everybody's family. And we have a lot of teachings in there. One of it, for example, from Risalat al-Huquq, from Imam Zain al-Abidin, where how you teach your kids. They learn their identity by knowing from you. It's by inheritance, and you communicate it to them. So the parents are an essential and critical part of the education. So that's why with this online program, it's important the parents are involved, right? The program and the work we're doing includes teaching the different curriculums. I'm showing you here one example of a distribution using the Kisa Kids books, the Steps to Perfection. We distributed the whole year into 80 days, where this is for religion R3, or for Quran, for example, Quran 3, where they have 2 sessions a week. And every the teachers are following these sessions, and every group of sessions there's a goal to achieve and to deliver. So the curriculum, the detailed comprehensive curriculum of our religion is set out in detail. You have this one here, is the diniyat one, where they got to understand the concept of taklif and bulugh, for example, 3 sessions. There's wudu, there's the whole taharat, everything is in here. So that part is taken care of by the school. The part we need the parents to is to like emphasize on the kids to learn this material, because this material is a part of who they are and their identity. Setting up the environment at home to be matching to that concept, right? That is very important, right? Uh, your children listen to you as parents. So if you give them direction, you show them the way, and almost all the times they will follow it, right? You give them direction, put the love of Ahlul Bayt in them, and give them direction to go and follow the school and engage with the community members and the teachers and the admins, and inshallah everything would flow pretty smoothly. That's our experience from the past. So this is how it is. Why parent involvement is important? It's because of these reasons. Now, how is it gonna work in effect, right? So with the online classes, every class is gonna have an online class, which is gonna be a WhatsApp group. In this WhatsApp group, communication is gonna be transparent. You're gonna see the teacher, you're gonna see the class supervisor and admin. This class supervisor and admin who's gonna be in the online class is gonna be the same teacher in the physical space on the Sunday physical activity, in-person activity. And you're going to see the other parents, inshallah, many of those parents are families. So that's how it's going to work. So keep an eye on WhatsApp. This is here an example of how a classroom would look like when the class is initialized next week. You'll see the introduction. You'll be added to the WhatsApp group. You'll see the student list, so you know who in your student list, who from your kids is in that class, and you'll follow the communication here. In that communication, there'll be the Zoom class where you will join the Zoom when the meeting happens for that class. There will be homework. Now, the way we structure the online classes is they're more like an experience. It's not a class. Even the homework, it's more like an activity that's given to them. So, but you set it up, you be ready when the kids are sitting in the class during the Zoom meeting. Make sure they are in an actual quiet room, having their video on, and engage with the learning. Of course, there's the general channel as well for general announcements. So some of the online adab and protocols is, you connect with a tablet or a laptop or a workstation, but no phone. Phones are not allowed. Just the screen of the phone is too small for positive online learning. So phones are not allowed. Everything else with a bigger screen, tablets, iPads, laptops, and workstations are fine. Ensure the students join the classes on time. Ensure the cameras are on all the time, and just check on the kids, after they learn, check how was class, in a very casual way, nothing structured, just casual, like the summer class. I'll give you example firsthand. I have my kids in the online class. In summer, like when we're eating, they started to say Bismillah before they eat. They started to say Bismillah before everything they do. When we're chatting, they talk about concepts of Aqidah they're learning in class, right? And that's when you, the parent, connect with them, right? And discuss these concepts in a very casual way. That's where the identity building happens. It's really at home with the parents. The class is just giving them the material, right? But it's that connection with the parents, and of course the class supervisors who are community members of the Husayni Madressa. Those are when we hit the message home with their identity, knowing who they are. Events are very important. Arba'in walk, Ramadan, the wiladat of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the imams, the wafiyat. These events, we actually put emphasis during these events in the classes when they happen during the times. And then in the home, you got to set that environment as well. So that's how it is. Of course, the most important part of all of this is to attend the classes, right? If you don't attend, if the students, if your kids don't attend, it's not, none of it is worthwhile. So make sure you attend. You're there, and you're engaged. I know the first week or two are kind of hard to get used to the rhythm, but once the kids are used to it the first week or two, it should be smooth after that. If you're not attending or you're not enrolling in class, please communicate very well. Email us. Any feedback is always welcome. We really want to make this to be, no kidding, like this. We want to make it the best quality learning in the world. And we know we can, because that's easy, because we have the best manhaj in history, the manhaj of Ahlul Bayt. So the manhaj is already designed and written for us by Allah and Ahlul Bayt. We just need to implement it, and we just need to work and execute on it. So inshallah we'll be able to do this. Any feedback, any comments, always welcome. In terms of your support, these classes do cost. The teachers are paid. We're hiring professional teachers, so we do have it open to sponsor classes. You can sponsor a class under the name of any of your marhumin, and their name will be there. They will recite Fatiha for the marhum. So if you are interested in that, reach out to either email alhusayni.madrasa@gmail.com or contact Brother Taha. Thanks everyone, and Bismillah tawakkalna ala Allah. Inshallah this year will be an awesome and impressive year.
Thank you very much, brother.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brother Azhar. Um, I have seen. I'm looking. There's some hands raised. So
Yes.
if you can ask.
So the name, Kahoot name, ND Interpreter, if you would like to ask your question.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I just have a comment about the 2 hours online session. Look, I'm myself a high school teacher, and to be honest, for the age of the group, 2 hours I think is too much. Like, I have a problem when I taught high school students online to keep them focused for more than 45 minutes. I really think in terms of quality, if you want good quality, it should really not be more than 1 hour. This is just my opinion. I think it will be very difficult to do a 2-hour class and keep students focused for 2 hours online.
Oh, thank you very much, brother, for sharing that. Just a clarification, it's not 2 hours, it's actually 1 hour each day. So 3 days a week, and each of those days is just 1 hour. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay,
Yeah.
1 hour is fine. Thank you.
Yeah, and if I may add, it's actually like, as a guideline, when we train the teachers, it is 60 minutes, but some teachers actually cut it off at 40, and some go full 60 minutes, because like we leave it to the teacher to judge the attention span, the age, the level, the content. They judge all these criteria, but it is between 40 to 60 minutes. Some of them do cut off at 40 minutes. It's at subjective, as you said, because you mentioned these points. You're very right about them. Absolutely.
All right, so there's another question by Sister Sharmeen, I believe.
Yes, assalamu alaikum everyone. I just had a question about the three I think weekday sessions that you mentioned, which now you've clarified is 1 hour a week. How soon will you have the schedule out for the students that qualify for whatever group that you're planning between group 1 and 6, amongst group 1 and 6 to have the children in, so that we can plan ourselves? I'd also like to request that whatever plans you have on the weekends, on the Sundays, if you could give us advance notice on what they are, it would be best, so that we can all plan and make sure that the children are available as well. I'm sure that the timings will be different based on what activities you're planning. I'm just wondering if you can tell us when you'll have that schedule available as to which child is fitting in which day a week session. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Sister. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. So with your permission, Brother Khalid, just to clarify, I think there's a slight disconnect there, in the sense that, so just to clarify, it will be 1 hour, not per week. So in a week, it will be 3 hours per week, but it would be 1 hour each of that day. So for example, if your child is enrolled, they would have either Monday, Tuesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, depending. And each of these days would be 1 hour. So it would actually be 3 hours per week. But during that one particular day, it won't go more than 40 to 1 hour, 40 minutes to 1 hour. The other thing, yes, you absolutely were correct. So it's just the onboarding that will be slightly challenging, just because there are parents who contacted us that they would want to see, they would be registering their child. And again, this is an emphasis, if you can please register your child. I know you have already done that in the past, but we want our parents who have been sending their children in the previous years to keep registering every year. So alhamdulillah, there were several parents who did register. This helps us keep the information that we have updated on our end. At the same time, what we are trying to do, again, Brother Khalid, that rather than the kid jumping from between one session of Quran to Diniyat and so on, we're trying to get children on the same Quran level at the same time with the same age group to be in the same class. So this way the child sees those people around them doing the class 3 days a week. So they are able to build that bond with other fellow members. And that's why that scheduling takes a while. But inshallah, I believe, Brother Khalid, like hopefully later in this week, at least you will know what class your child is in, who the teacher is, who is the class admin, what's the WhatsApp group, you'll be added to it. Regarding the Sunday events, yes, we're just finalizing, we're trying to plan it out for the whole year, and we'll send it as soon as possible, inshallah. The minimum notice that we'll give you would be at least 2 weeks before the event. So, any Sunday, but we will try to have the whole year, because I understand, you would like to plan for it, and that's exactly what we want, that, the entire family is involved. Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. So I believe there's another with the name Sunny. You have a question?
Assalamu alaikum. This is Samir here. I had a small question on the weekdays. So the weekdays are 3 hours, and the weekend is just like a reinforcement or a supplemental days of what happened in the week. Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, so just to clarify, so it's 3 hours per week, not per day, right? So 1
Yes.
hour, yeah, okay, good. And 1 hour, as you see on the screen as well, it would be between 5 to 6, or 6 to 7, or 5:30 to 6:30. And the Sunday is basically where we try to reinforce those concepts, as you mentioned. So where the child actually interacts in that environment and tries to reinforce those concepts. So even the curriculum is designed to follow that Islamic schedule. So in the class, they will be learning about Arba'in, for instance, and then that will be reinforced, for example, in the coming Sunday.
Sure.
So, yeah.
The child has to register for both weekdays and weekend both, correct?
We would strongly encourage that you register for both, especially the online as well, just because I know there are parents who might be a bit hesitant, but we always ask them to, give it a try and see how it goes. It does sound overwhelming at times, but from my experience, I've seen that they do start with it, and then those children do stay on board.
Sure. And just in case the child misses a class, so like, is the parent, as a parent, should we contact the teacher and get information, or he or she would catch up in the next class?
Yes, so that's a good question. So on the WhatsApp group, the teacher will be posting all those information there. So, you will be the child will be submitting an assignment, for instance, they will be posting on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp will be the medium where the teacher will be interacting. So if the child misses, you're definitely feel free to reach out and they will brief you about that missing session, inshallah.
Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it.
Jazakumullah, jazakumullah. We have Sister Masuma, I believe. She has a question. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, this is Masuma's mother. I just had the same questions which have already been addressed, and the only thing I wanted to know is that Masuma actually she takes Quran like the recitation classes from like another teacher. So I was just trying to, because she takes those classes 2 days a week online. So I was just trying to understand how I would be integrating her online Quran class with the Sunday school on Quran and Diniyat class. So my question is that if a child is taking Quran recitation from another teacher from so can they skip the Quran class in the madrasa, or would you guys be teaching beyond recitation? I'm just trying to understand uh, how I'm supposed to integrate and manage both the sessions, because usually it happened that Masuma and Mariam used to go on Sundays, and during the week I would just let them learn the recitation of Quran from Pakistan. So that is my only concern. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. Yes. So the thing is that happens is that there are many students who are in a similar situation as yours. Because Quran, their focus of madrasa, especially previous year, was more so on religious studies. There were many, and we had also guided parents as well for Quran, because you need more days in a week to actually cover that. So we had directed some resources, and we have students who are in a similar situation as yours. So this year, what we're trying to do is so you can hopefully see the levels of Quran that there are there. So the child will be assessed, and then they will be placed in a Quran setting along with their dinya. So it's just, they'll be learning both things in the same class. So what I would suggest is, in this case, is that you can start with this and you can continue the Quran online. And if you feel that this meets the need for Quran, then the child can, choose which one they would like to choose. Again, obviously, I understand it can be quite overwhelming, because if they're doing, multiple places, I would strongly suggest not to do that. But if you think the child is okay in the sense that now they can transit to al-madrasa for Quran as well, that's perfectly fine. If you would only choose madrasa for diniyat and more so over there for Quran, that's also perfectly fine as well. Both work. Does that answer the question, sister?
Yes. Thank you so much for explaining it. I just wanted to know that the registration would be same, or do I need to mention it, or just verbally tell the principal, or
Yeah, so that was one of the things that was missing, unfortunately, in the beginning from the admission form, but now it's there. So
okay.
if you have already filled it in, that's fine. If you would want to fill it in, sorry about the trouble, but if you would like to fill it in again, you can mark that over there.
No, I because Mariam and Masuma, they already are like they're registered, like mashallah, they would be going every year. So I will register them today, and thank you so much for mentioning it. So I will fill the forms today, and I will mention. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much. Yes, so I guess there's another question from Brother Muhammad, is it? Hindi interpreter?
My name is Maqsood.
Maqsood, sorry. Yeah.
No problem. So first two are questions. The third one will be a short comment. So I'll let you answer the first two questions. Number one is, I registered and I paid for everything. I just don't, because you, from what I understood, is online registration is separate from in-person registration. Like, how do I know if I registered them for both?
Okay. Yes. So you are, I see, mashallah, you registered, and the default is that you register for both.
Okay.
So it's there.
Okay.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Second question is, how long is the Sunday in-person session?
Yes. So Sunday, typically we aim for 2 hours. Usually as over here, and typically it will be 10 to 12 or 11 to 1. But again, this could slightly differ depending on the activity that we're doing. So for instance, if it's a recreational activity, we might push it after in the afternoon. There are some activities that even the families get involved, like for example, mini golf or something like that. But we will let you know at least 2 weeks beforehand, inshallah.
And it starts next week, right? Next Sunday.
So the first activity, yes, will be on 19th. And it will be in the morning from 10 to 12. We will send you the details as well, inshallah.
Okay, but the online is not starting this upcoming week. It's not starting yet.
Yes, it will be starting on 20th. So like after that in person, inshallah.
Okay. The third thing is more of a comment. I don't know how many of the participants are here are teachers and so on. Like I think one of the important things to keep in mind is to make it whatever we do, like in the madrasa and so on, is to keep it relevant to practical aspects of life. So, for example, like children here, especially in postmodernist society, they often want an answer to why, right? Like children will often ask you, like, why can't you not eat pork? Why can you not eat halal meat? And the way the contemporary education system is framed is that an average person thinks that there is a response to every why. So, for example, with my kids, when they go why, I give them an answer, but I tell them, look, we have, for example, a speed limit in the city. We can give an explanation, an answer to why there is a speed limit, but we can never deduce a rational answer as to why the speed limit is 40 and not 41, or 40 and not 39. The reason I do this is so that they see the relevance of Islamic epistemology to real life issues. And I hope, inshallah, it takes time to cultivate this. I hope, inshallah, you just guys keep this stuff in mind.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much, Brother Maqsood, for sharing this. This is, yes, it's a very beautiful way to approach this, and it is very important, as you mentioned. But
by the way, guys, feel free. There is a website called activeaco.ca. We do some stuff with brothers. There's some lesson materials and so on. Feel free to use anything you want there. I don't know if you guys know Bilal Muhammad. He is involved in this as well. It's called activeaco.ca. There's quite a few material there, inshallah. I hope it can help you.
Thank you for sharing that. We'll definitely get in reach with you as well, outside as well, if it's okay with you. Jazakumullah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sultan.
Yeah, if I may add something
Yes,
to this
yes.
point, right? So, I mean, that's where the identity comes in. So, and that's the difference between the online and the physical and the importance of each, but the physical is more important. The online is going to teach a curriculum and tell the students that pork is haram, right? But, and the teacher, the professional teacher, may give some reasons at a high level. But it's really the physical activity that talks about the concepts, the reasoning, and goes in depth. This physical activity is done by the local class supervisor and the local teacher. This local teacher knows the kids very well. Every kid is different. Like, why is pork haram? There's many answers. We've probably, each one of us have gone over more than 10 different answers, and everybody thinks of the reasoning differently because they have a slightly different aqidah. Everybody's aqidah is and conclusions are different based on on the whole identity of the Ahlul Bayt. So that's where the physical goes in depth into these reasoning and connections, and gives the relevant material to it, right? Whereas the online just gives you the hukum, right? Just gives you the hukum, and we have so many things. And that's why it's important to attend both with this unique hybrid program to, connect the importance of the rules and then the reasoning. Yeah.
Ahsantum. Thank you very much, brother Khalid. That was beautiful. Alhamdulillah. So, inshallah, like once you've understood the responsibilities and roles, if you haven't registered your child, we would strongly encourage that you do. If you can also spread out the word, if you know there are people around you who do not know perhaps about the Husayni Madrasa and they would want to be a part of it, they can do so. Also, as I mentioned, there is an opportunity for admin staff for helping us out in this venture, for Sunday in person, there's a lot of support that is needed. And there's a sign-up form on alhusayni.net for parents as well, where they can go, as I just showed. And if you think that you have a few hours or something that you can share with us, we would love to hear from you. So do sign up over there, and inshallah, let us know any ways that you can help. I guess we've already spoken a bit about this. But as mentioned, inshallah, if you do have any further queries, you can always reach out at help@alhusayni.net. Again, as I said, we're all basically from the same community, from the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. The idea is to best provide for the children, as Brother Khalid mentioned, Brother Hazul Khalid, that we're there. The purpose is so that we can do the best for our children, inshallah. And that is why, alhamdulillah, as our brother mentioned, that we're trying to get the professional teachers involved, certified teachers in certain cases. Many of the people who are involved with this organization are doing it on a voluntary basis. But there's certain aspects where a need is felt that, a certain part should be taught by a certain expert. And that's why we reach out to them. We do not hesitate. And alhamdulillah, our dear brother Khalid has made that possible, that he has searched out for the people, the talent there, and tried to bring in, because we understand, there are the children that are here, they are going through a certain system. As you also mentioned, Brother Masood, that, they're not, perhaps we need to be on the same level as them to understand what they're trying to do, and we can convey that information in their own lingo. So there are some professional teachers who are out there. So we also seek out their help in this regard. So yeah, I think that was about it. The principal, Mr. Shant, would you like to, inshallah?
Thank you very much for Brother Maksud, Brother Azwar, and Taha for such a good explanations and everything. Yeah, for this Sunday we are okay. We are going to have the in-person session at IHS. But next Sundays we are going to send the parents the details of what we are planning to do, and I wish many of the parents can join us for even for once in a month for 1 hour or 2 hour on Sundays. It really appreciated, because when we are going to have the field trip or we are going to have the carnivals or something, we need the parents. So looking forward for this, and other we are all good. If you have any question, please let us know. We are open to get the remarks or your comments from you guys. So thank you so much for all your help.
You're welcome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much.
Alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Fi aman Allah.